Hey everyone, Ken Chu here. Welcome to Mom Dad Homes TEATALK, where we unveil the mindset of successful parents, professional, and their attitude of tenacity. Whether you are self-employed, entrepreneur, or an executive, a continuous effort is required to balance your life. By sharing why you do what you do, we are all reminded of our purpose. What are the successes from our fellow parents we can learn from, and how can we apply the principles to be the best version of ourselves? In this show, we are going to connect with parents, professionals to talk experience, success, challenges, and what it takes to craft a life that is worth looking back. Let's get ready your cup of tea. We are starting straight into today's episode. And very happy to have a good friend of mine here today, Jackie. Jackie is originally from the German part of Switzerland, Zurich, and now living for 17 years in Asia. Wow. She worked for almost 30 years in learning and development in banks before she became the founding director of Cultivate. She has a unique combination of skill set with an international flavor and predominant Asian focus, and represents also a leading global financial training company called Capital City Training and Consulting in Asia that provides investment trainings to financial institutions in Asia. So this is Jackie, and Jackie, you want to say hi with them? Maybe you can share about maybe you can share first about your personal life.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Ken. Thank you for the tea talk today. Very feeling honored to be part of this. Yeah. And also following already quite a while now. So we know each other for quite a while. And yes, so much about me. I am 52 years old. I'm originally from Zurich, and I spent most of the time, my school time in Zurich. And then from 12 years onwards, I stayed for 9 years in an international boarding school in the mountains in Switzerland, close to the Austrian border, where I met other kids or other children from different countries. And I think this exposed me already to, and impacted me quite a lot, exposed me with other cultures and languages at a later stage.
Nice.
That time, my hobbies were also skiing, snowboarding, because we had a lot of snow in front of the school, volleyball, and guess what? We had so much. We were so much in the nature on 2,000 meter high. Really, you see the top of the mountain.
Wow.
We had the cows and the deers on the football field, so it was really an amazing time for 9 years. And then when I was 20, I came back to Zurich, to the town, which is also the financial center, right? And I started to work first and study psychology at the university in Zurich. And then also soon started to work in Credit Suisse in the learning department, where I run then induction courses for new joiners. Wow. And maybe family-wise, it's very funny, at already young age, when I was 20, I never wanted children in my life. I always wanted 3 dogs and no child. But life has taught me differently. And as you know already, since you know me well, I take care of 5 children. So I have one daughter with me here in Singapore, and 4 more I take care in Bali in the family compound. And they're already 18, 15, and 8 years old. So we used to travel monthly to Bali and visit the family. And now my hobbies changed a bit also. So I learned a lot of languages like Bahasa. I speak Indonesian, a little bit Chinese. So we cannot tell me in Chinese here, please. But basic Chinese I can speak. And I have a passion for Kundalini yoga, reading good books, always constantly learning. And I like to socialize with friends and cycle to the beach at the East Coast.
Nice. Jackie, when you talk about 3 dogs, I was like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you like dogs. Yeah. I mean, I personally have 6 dogs on different time of my life. Yeah, nice. But it's something new that I learned from you today that I didn't know that. And just now I heard you have 5 kids. If I'm not wrong, you shared with me before that some of them are adopted, right?
Yeah, not legally adopted, but they all have a mom, but I know them since babies or since 4 years old. So they are in my heart. So they call me Ibu. Ibu technically means mother, like this.
Wow.
Very close to my heart.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
It doesn't matter, for me. If it's your own child or your adopted child, as long as they are in your heart. I find that's critical.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about your business side? I mean, tell us what you tell us what do you do that you did in your business career until today?
Career. Okay. So I spent almost for 30 years, I spent my time in HR and learning, first in private banking and then also in the investment banking area, where I was always inspired. You know, in Switzerland, you're a very small country in the heart of Europe, right? And but you learn a lot of languages because we also have 4 national languages like Singapore, and we have to use them. And I always was inspired to use them, you know, because I experienced meeting a lot of colleagues from various cultures. And then at a certain point of time in training, I ran private banking seminar for relationship managers who came from all over the world to Zurich for 1 week, and I hosted them. And we ran a lot of presentations and met a lot of, you know, senior managers, etc. It was really a cool time. And at that time, I built already a network with these RMs, which I was not aware helped me later when I came to Asia. So then suddenly in 2004, I moved to Hong Kong for 1 year only. And then I met a lot of RMs I already knew from you know, who came to Zurich to my seminar. So because I was, at that time, there were not many women also as expat women, you know, there. There were many men there, where the wife followed, but I was alone there as an expat woman. And then, of course, on a Friday evening, the man, they didn't say, you join us for drinking a beer, you know. So I went to my spa, but because men go for beer or so afterwards for a drink, right? So, but I also connected quite quickly, built up a vast network inside the bank, but also outside, so with the external training providers. And then in 2005, after 1 year, I moved to Singapore, also only for 1 year, I thought.
2005.
But then it became 17 years in total.
Wow.
And we built there, it was a really exciting time. We built up the Campus Asia then, and, you know, started to train junior RMs, you call them RM, relationship managers, and assess them. So I run assessments also with the team heads, the market heads, which is really interesting over a period of 18 months. You know, you train them, and they became a full-fledged RM then. So that was a bit my time. And then, yeah, after 20 years, okay, that's also interesting. After 20 years, I in Credit Suisse at the time, it was time for a break for me. So I had a sabbatical, which took 8 months. So, you know, sometimes in life, you need to have a cut and a stop once and a pause a bit. And for me, this was in 2011, where I then said I never traveled alone by myself. So I went for 8 months traveling around. I really booked a round the world ticket. You can book that. Huh? I mean, now I don't know, but before you could do that. Literally a round the world ticket. I started in Singapore, went to San Francisco, was in California, visited my friends who lived there. It was an amazing time. Went to Arizona, was, you know, went to Sedona with my friends. And so then visited, went to New York. And then also England, my Japanese Swiss friend married there, and then France, and so yeah. So we had time to spend with my friends. And then I came back after 8 months and started immediately. That time was easy to find a job also in Singapore, and found a job in Standard Chartered Bank, where I stayed then 6 years.
Whoa.
And after 1 month staying there, I found out that I'm pregnant. So I was pregnant with 43. And then I had a bit of shock of my life because I never planned that. And at the same time, I had also a wedding also in Bali in October. So I was pregnant with 8 months pregnant. So pretty big at my wedding. And then, okay, 2017 then, after this time, I had a bit, you know, like often in life, a lot of things happen at the same time. And this were some major events happened. So I had a bit of midlife crisis, lost my motivation slowly in the daily 12-hour job you do, you know. Also felt I don't have enough time for my daughter Nina. And also we had recurring processes, you know, restructuring processes every year again. So it was quite draining. And then I started to practice more yoga in Bali, in Singapore.
Nice.
And then also my favorite aunt passed away, which is the sister of my mom. So this was a very important person to me. And then my chance wasn't really to start fresh.
Nice.
So this was in 2018 when I decided to open my own company called Cultivate, which is now active since a bit more than two and a half years.
Yeah.
And I'm also the business development manager for a training company, as you mentioned in the beginning, Capital City Training. And so much. So that's where then we started with Cultivate.
Wow, that was I can tell your life is full of colors and a lot of excitement. You went for a 8 months tour all alone?
Yeah, but
Wow.
I stayed 1 week with this friend, 1 week that friend, right? But I traveled alone. Yeah, I wanted to.
Wow, I can't imagine that. I have never done that before.
Yeah, see, still some things to do ahead of you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So now you're looking on this business called Cultivate. Maybe you can share with us what does Cultivate represents now, and let us know more about Cultivate.
Yes. Okay, so Cultivate is a word play, by the way, huh? Cultivate written with a V. So the vision is actually to cultivate your mindfulness and the health. And we offer we have 3 areas of expertise. First of all is competent training consultation to companies across the industry. And the second is then we teach language training such as German, French, and also English for children or adults in a fun and also very practical and memorable way. And also newly, we will start providing translation. And the third part is we do holistic events. You know about this a bit because you tried already my cakes. I bake. I started to bake. Nice. I bake long already, but in the COVID time last year, I started to sell my bakes and my bread because they are homemade, they are more nutritious, they are not processed food, right? And but we also offer yoga classes, cooking classes, aquafit. For elderly, you can do aqua gym in the water, for example, quite cool. And also powerful meditation, because I realized a lot of my friends also and other yoga students I have, they're not even used to meditate 5 minutes a day, And so we give simple practical techniques in yoga. All kind of yoga, can be hatha yoga, yin yoga. My favorite is Kundalini yoga because we chant mantra. So, but it's not religious, so it's more a spiritual way of connecting with yourself.
That's so nice, so beautiful. Just to connect a bit, earlier you were sharing with us that you are you work in the bank. You have a very I would say, can I say it's a corporate thing? It's a corporate world kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So in the banks, and then you have a good career, and then you have 8 months trip on your own solo. It was beautiful, and then now you decided. After becoming a mom at 43, and then you decided to set up Cultivate. I mean, I understand this is set up after you became a parent. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Just tell us why. Just tell us this. I think this is the crux of what this talk is all about. Why did you decided in the first place to set up Cultivate?
Yes, my own company, right? Yeah, I always had a lot of respect for all the successful entrepreneurs who can do this by themselves and run the company. That for me personally, it took a lot of courage to leave the corporate world, because you have a stability, you have the regular income, the salary you have, of course, and you feel safer, but it's also not always so safe anymore nowadays, right? But it took a lot of courage to leave the corporate world and try something on my own. Since I believe in more a natural philosophy to health, therefore, my purpose also was really to help improve people's health and mind. And I still felt a lot of people eat processed food. They're not so. We always think we live longer. We live longer also, but there's also more hospitals built in Singapore, and more people falling sick and have more autoimmune diseases, and. So I think we need to prevent that. And I felt also really to started baking more healthy bread and cake. I even make my own flour with a mill, and then offering yoga also. I was also in the first place, I thought, wow, I've become a yoga teacher. really, shall I do this? But through the teaching, I truly enjoy, sharing this and also giving something back to people also who are still in a very stressful job and and also meditations, aquarobics, etc. And when I started nutrition course in Germany, I started nutrition course 7 years ago. I realized that we really need a holistic, integrative, and independent approach. And that's the way for us humans to stay healthy and to prevent falling ill.
Yeah. Thanks so much for this, because just now earlier you also shared about you have a hectic job of 12 hours a day. In probably in Singapore it's even more because people work really long hours, and it sort of reminds me of a thinking where some the famous people saying that we spend a lot of our time in our youth earning money, and then in our later years we are spending that money that we have earned on our health, on other things that it would not have happened if we would just work too hard for the when we have the time and the youth. So that's really to get a balance and see how you can have a maneuver around your life to see whether what kind of life that you really want to enjoy or have at the end of the day, because that's really like at the end of the day we want to have a life that when we look back is really worth looking back, and this is so much about the worth looking back mentality that we are having. Yeah, but I believe that it's not that easy. There's a switch. You're saying stability to being an entrepreneur is definitely not easy. Maybe you can share with the audience here what are the challenges, especially as a parent and trying to start something like that. It's really from sketching from paper, a blank piece of paper.
It's definitely the experience level. For me, the experience level was really feeling like an apprentice again, kind of running a startup, and also interesting being forced to learn new skills, right? Which is also good in a way, but you of course feel a bit, unexperienced, and you learn new methods to run your own company. But luckily, I had also very good friends, colleagues. I found a good accountant, etc. So I'm very lucky with a very good network, I have to say. So always when I had a question, I could approach anyone and got also referred to the right people, etc. And then I was also lucky to get an employment pass. In Singapore at that time was not so easy anymore, even 3 years ago. So I don't know if it luck or I have a very good lawyer, or I don't know. But I was lucky, I think. So nice. And then I have I still feel humble about this because, it takes lots of responsibility. It's a risk also, and also need patience to do all these trial and error, right? You try and then you have to stand up again and try other things. So it's not everything is working. Like a little child who needs to learn to walk, right? So you need to show endurance and also perseverance. And that's not always easy, especially for me as a single mom also. When I started in my company, after a while, my helper also left because I also couldn't afford her anymore, and she also went back to Indonesia. So it's a constant juggling between taking care of your child, and I have only one here, others have more, right? And balancing the work schedule, definitely. So I often had to bring my 7-year-old daughter at that time along to the yoga class, to the teaching, or to the German class. She's still joining as well, so she also benefits. But it's not always fun for her also to come along everywhere, right? And I'm also not 35 anymore, so since I'm 52, I don't have the same energy anymore as when you're much younger. That's another thing I realized. So in the evening, when I read a book and then we sleep, I fall asleep as well. So, you think, later you go and work again. Forget it. Sometimes you're just also exhausted because you do everything on your own. But but it also comes with a lot of benefits then, as well. So
Yeah, I personally know your daughter and yourself. Your daughter also does yoga and meditation with you.
in the bottom muscle.
Oh, it's so nice. I mean, you have a very nice relationship from there. Yeah, I mean, here your challenges definitely is not that easy to do the switch, and you did it just like that. Your intention is very, very strong, and you really, I feel that you have a very strong mind and very strong mentality. Let's share with us, how about the flip side? How about the satisfaction you get out from this?
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, the freedom of managing your day-to-day schedule is different than when you're in a corporate world, as well as, you know, you find time in between for your child or your children. I'm able to I totally changed. I was such a taxi girl, always took a taxi here in Singapore because we can afford taxis here. Now I'm always on my bike. So now I also lost weight. I did more yoga. Of course, eating less carbs also helps in the evening. But I was always more the bigger size, XL size. So now I lost a lot and almost 20 kilos, and in over years, like 2 years or so, but slowly. But and then I'm able to bring her to school in the morning by bicycle and also pick her up, and so I'm part of her development, which I don't want to miss out anymore, you know, because otherwise, as you said, you're often in the office, or even I have friends who say I'm locking myself up in the office the whole day. I don't see my kids, right? So, and of course, the salary is also different, definitely. So you need to balance what is important for you or for your family, and how do you juggle this and balance this. But I don't miss all these many calls in the projects I had, you know, and writing minutes and whatever, you know, so many calls we had all the time, right? I don't miss this at all. I miss my colleague and the team spirit, definitely. I'm still in contact with some also, that's nice. And I think still the time until 14 years for a child, you have also a son, you know, for yourself. Yes. So it's important. He's still young, but until 14 years, this is the time where we still have a bit influence, which is critical for a child. And often, I think, unfortunately, often too busy or distracted with our gadgets, social media. We're living such a digital world, right? Me included, not at all excluded here. So that we need to break out of this. So we need to connect again with the nature, go out with your children, walk, run, even if it's lockdown time, whatever, swim, play, whatever whatever you like, right? Do see small things again. You know, we just recently had a caterpillar on our lemon tree. And then Nina found the caterpillar, and now he transformed to a butterfly. And you know, the small things.
Yes.
What is critical in life, I think that these are the small things, right? And not being blended or distracted too much by unnecessary things like, I don't know, for me, it's a lot of materialistic things, right? Which I also enjoyed in the past. Now it's not very important anymore. And it's really things which make you happy. And I also hope to provide healthy bakes to my clients. So when I bake, I know my clients and I know what they like. So yesterday I baked a bread with onion and olives because my friend, she just loves it. So then I bring it by bicycle, you know. So I like to bring the value like this and have a bit of personal service there and a connection with my clients. Nice. And then I think the last part is really important, and we also talked about this already on several occasions. We need to be more compassionate with each other. Because we are so much in our own world, you know. We need to socialize more also, and better than stay away from each other, which at the moment is a bit the topic, right? And have no contact, because I think people feel more lonely, more isolated, and then they become more depressed, which is not good at all. So what strengthens our immune system is go out in the sun, get vitamin D, do yoga, do whatever sports you like, and connect with the nature and with your children.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of very nice pointers there. I would just want to delve deeper, like you were sharing just now about freedom, you know, freedom of satisfaction of. It's not necessarily easier, but with the freedom of you scheduling the time and so on. Of course, you need more discipline, but you have the freedom to adjust whatever that you want. You have a total control in taking charge of your life. And I think that's a beautiful part that you just pointed out. And also, I was just thinking that one thing you reminded me just now is that it's really about priority. What do you really want your life to be? And a lot of times it's really it's a process of elimination. You know, what I don't want, what I don't want, what I don't want, and you get clearer and clearer of what do you really want. So to some people, you know, they may know exactly what they want, but to some people, they may be like, you know, they're still not too sure what's their life for, you know, what's their life purpose is. And what we can really do is to eliminate this you know, in a progressive way, and it's a journey, right? We will start to get what we want. And you showed us that, you know, at this age, and giving us this advice, especially being a parent now, we have responsibilities, and it's really about creating a life worth looking back. And that in that angle, what really means is that how do we spend our time wasters? You know, do we spend a lot more time on time wasters, or do we prioritize on the things that we want? Like just now you were saying, like gadgets and so on. I mean, I myself is guilty. You know, sometimes I watch YouTube too much. You know, sometimes it's just, you know, the videos are so capturing. You know, you just watch, and the next video, but could we have a time limit to it? And because we know that those are time wasters, that, you know, we don't really have to know what the president is eating for breakfast, or, you know, we don't really have to know what is a certain celebrity is going through now, because it's not going to impact our life priority, or it's not going to impact what do we want to live for our children, or it's not going to change how a role model we want to be for our children. So we really need to focus on the priority. And just now, this is exactly what I heard from you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just want to ask one more question. You know, can you describe to us, what do you have to say to other parents, entrepreneurs out there?
Okay, I have not a long experience yet. I have to tell you also that for sure people are along their own businesses already. But based on my personal experience, it's really that's a bit through my entire life, how it went. It trust the flow of life, and this is meaning really don't necessarily plan all well ahead. I find, because life will play out anyway differently than what I have planned. That was for me the case. So live more a bit in the moment, focus on the simple things. And my life motto is always back to basics, and less is more. You know, we don't need so much stuff anymore, so many things, and so that we feel more grateful also on the small things, appreciate what life has given to us. I know, I have to remind myself also in the morning, hey, I'm still alive. I have a roof over my head. You know, other people are in another situation, right? There's always people who are in a worse situation. I have also illnesses or sickness sometimes, but then I think, okay, there's other people who they live in another situation worse or than me, and that be thankful to this situation, that we are healthy, and also most important, spend the quality time with our children before they grow up too fast. You know, that they grow up so fast, and be happy about positive things. So, as I said, do yoga, do sports, find quiet time also for yourself, to look a bit more inward. A lot of people are afraid to spend time with themselves, including me. I remember I had my ex-husband, but he's my good friend, Mayan. He's a Balinese. So when I was pregnant and I was stressed, he said, "Why you don't meditate?" And I said, "I cannot meditate. I never learned that." So, you know, you cannot just meditate like this. I think they should even teach this in school. So I do this sometimes in my tuition. When I have German class, it's my Singapore kids. We say, okay, we breathe, we do breathing technique. You know this very well. You and me, we have practices also together already in groups. And that helps a lot also children to deal and to cope with, you know, stress situations, especially in Singapore where they have a lot of tests. And so, and go for walk, jog, cycle, and go to the nature. Sing also, sing, you know, why not singing and dancing, and practice meditation a bit, even if it's only 5 minutes a day.
Nice. I really like you say just now on being grateful on the small things. And yes, you are right. Or no matter how tough the situation is, especially for parents, entrepreneur out there, when we do a switch from our stable job to probably trying to start something new, definitely there's going to be challenge. And no matter what happened, in every situation, we can find something to be grateful for,
Yes.
That even in the tough situation, all the small things, the appreciation, the gratefulness will just bring us to much further. And I really like how you say about really find some time for yourself. This is something that people
We
living
forget,
in the
right?
city,
We forget usually.
Yes, because when we live in the city, things are just too fast paced. We wake up and then we work, and then by the time when we are like, oh, it's nighttime already and it's about to sleep or kind of thing, and we really do not have some quality time with ourselves, asking ourselves the key questions, the important questions of why are we living and what do we really, 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 really want. And I think it's really beautiful that you point out, the simple things. And I really love what you said about that. It's really like a slogan, like trust in the flow of the life, right? I really like that, and
there are no coincidences, Ken, I believe.
I mean, of course, we do our best. We do not want to have any regrets. We do our best, but sometimes we also want to balance not clinging to something too stubbornly. We have to learn to let go and let life unfold, whatever that is. And sometimes it's even more beautiful, right? Sometimes even more beautiful than you have imagined it. Yeah. So I think that thank you so much, Jackie, for your time and all your advice here. I feel that really what I learned from today is really trust the flow in life, because we do our best, but sometimes, and often most of the time, the results that unfold could be even more beautiful than what we have imagined it. So go for it, embrace the challenge, and live a life out there that is worth looking back.
Yeah.
Right. And anything more else, Jackie, you want to share?
Yeah, and I think also, especially for me, I'm very traditional. I don't like changes, but of course changes will happen in your life anyway, if you want it or don't want it. You cannot change that. So when a door closes, new door will open as well. So always look at this as well. So that's something I need to remind myself, and which helps me to overcome that also, right?
Nice, thank you so much. Yeah. So I think we can wrap up the show today. Just my friends, just remember this phrase: trust the flow of life. And with that, I want to say thank you for your time, and yes, let's have a quick break here.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. All right. Okay, let's bye and see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Yes. Bye. Bye.